Veteran and North Texan Trevor Reed in the hospital this morning after officials say he was fighting on the battlefield in Ukraine. Megan Mitchell joins us from the newsroom with the latest from overnight. Megan, a lot of questions surrounding this, not the least of which is, what was he doing over there?
I think that's a great point, Mark. And Reed spent 3 years actually in that Russian prison. We covered that. Well, last year he was freed and reunited with his family here in Texas. But now, 15 months later, we have learned that he was injured while fighting the Russians in Ukraine. U.S. officials say he was hurt on the battlefield in a landmine explosion. The White House says he's been evacuated to Germany, where he's being treated at an Army medical center. We don't know the extent of his injuries right now, but both the White House and the State Department stress that Reed was in Ukraine as a private citizen.
Mr. Reed was not engaged in any activities on behalf of the U.S. government.
The U.S. government has been extraordinarily explicit in warning Americans not to travel to Ukraine, let alone participating in fighting there.
Reed was freed in a prisoner swap with Russia. He had been convicted on charges of assaulting 2 police officers, though Reed and the U.S. deny those charges. We asked an assistant professor of global studies at UT Arlington if Reed fighting for the Russians could jeopardize the release of other Americans held there, like Paul Whelan.
These are 2 separate issues. I honestly don't think this is going to be a big deal between the U.S. and Russia. Now, if Trevor Reed had been taken prisoner of war, that would have been a different story.
He has been, the U.S. says, has been wrongfully detained, in Russia for 4 years now. His brother tells ABC News a hostage's release isn't an endpoint. Kara?